So we've got Jackson Robillard in the final portion of the lap here at the Isle of Man. Everything just coming towards the end of the event here as we go on board with the American. Carrying on through the bottom end of the circuit here. Everything seems to be in order for him here. 17 minutes into his final lap. He's 2 and a bit seconds down on his best, or the best, through the middle sector. I think he's done enough. He's done what he has to do to get to the end here. And we'll eagerly await the results at the end of this thing. Be good to see who's turned out where because of the way things have worked out. Coming down the bottom of the hill towards Regni Bar here, the final time. We haven't lost anybody else in the interim, so we are all good here. We're about 3 minutes from the end. Jackson Robillard. Trying to work out on the map where he is as the yellow comes out in sector 3. Huge commitment through that long right-hander there. On his way down towards Pronklimona and Signpost. Jackson looking to finish strong in the Ferrari. The second win for the Ferrari this season. Jake in the Jag coming first, as this will be the final corner at the Nook. Or around that final portion of the lap. He's probably got that another 1.5 miles to go here. This will be the Nook. He'll be on the final straight for the final time. Now this is the Nook. I do apologise, he went through Signpost and now he's at the Nook. Now he's onto the final straight. And this will be the end of the event for Jackson Robillard. As he should come across to secure the win here at the Isle of Man. And he's got to wait for everybody else to cross the line. He is going to cross the line and set a 20:26.2. Sets the fastest time overall. So we now wait for GP laps to come across the line. He's on his way towards the end of the event here. We get the dual screens back. Yellow in sector 3. Fastest lap point is indeed going to be close. Jake braking for the Nook entirely on the rear brakes. He's not too far away from completing this, and I think his steering is a little bit bonked. He'll still be able to finish, all being well. Not too far away at all. comes into final corner. Very, very tight little section. There's a little bit of a power slide on the exit. Car a little bit over the place. And that should be him done. I think he'll be very satisfied with that drive. And very satisfied to finish as well, given that he did have those couple of offs that maybe damaged his car a little bit. Here we have Scooby coming down the other side of the mountain. It's very close to the banks on the exit here. He's coming up to Kate's cottage now, so he'll be at Cregney Bar at the bottom of this this hill. So he's not got much longer, probably about another 3 minutes of driving left for him. We'll just check in with Nikolai and Liski just retired, and then we've got 3 drivers with a whole lap left to complete. So at the end of all this, we've had 16 finishes from the event. We ended up with just under half of the field remaining. Scooby approaching the outskirts of Douglas for the final time here. The engine survives a throttle blip. Mark Ziegler, fastest in class, currently in the 3 litres. Purple first, purple second. He's going all out for the final part of this. He's probably got another 5 minutes of running or so, 5 or 6 minutes of running. Scooby coming into the final little complex now, the final tight little corners. Only just makes it through the right-hander. Gets it through the left. Up to pretty much the final couple of corners. And that will be Scooby done at the end of this lap. He'll be satisfied with that. That'll be 3rd overall in the bag, you'd think. Now we just need to see where Ziegler comes through in a bit. Ziegler towards the end of the lap. Scooby also done. Just parking up at turn 1 here. Ziegler towards Kate's cottage. So he'll have the finish line in sight pretty much. Top 2 or 3 finished now. A couple of the drivers have got to do the extra lap, which are probably not going to be good for them, but you know, you've got to finish the full race distance. about another 2 minutes of running or so for Mark Ziegler here. Just had confirmation that everybody is on their last lap now with 3 finishes so far. So Ziegler will be the first non 3-litre class, non 5-litre class car to cross the line. Entering the final section now, almost nosedives the car into the wall. Pretty much entirely on the rear brakes. Kick of oversteer on the exit. No minute now, Mark. Mark Ziegler becomes the first of the 3-litre cars to cross the line. Finish line probably about 150, 200 yards in front of him. And there we go. He has just gone and set the fastest time in the 3-litre class, and he can pull over and retire. Here comes the first of the 2-litre cars now. Isidoro Horegui. Again, I do apologise for butchering any names today. He again is probably about another 2 minutes away from finishing the lap. In a very fast part of the track here. Bit of a slide through this long left-hander here. Yeah, he's not too far away now, so this will be the first of the 2 litres to cross the line. First win for the Bristol as well. Those behind the scenes frantically getting the times together. Eduardo Beninca expected to finish 5th overall here. Impressive stuff from the 2 and 3 litre cars. Very aggressive gear change as well from Isidoro as he comes across the line now. No need to worry when you just cross the line and he is complete. Eduardo Beninca entering the final sector now, or the final section now, I should say. About another 45, 50 seconds for him. Beninca now just navigating the final few corners, making sure he doesn't unnecessarily bin it. Into the very tight little section here. Almost slides straight on, probably came in a bit too hot. Oof. And that is him done now. Eduardo Beninca, 2nd in class in 3 litre. Very good stuff from the Brazilian in the Gordini. Darren Andrews, 2nd in class in the 2 litres. He's again probably about another 2 minutes away from the end. So everybody, I mean, like the leaders of the other classes starting to come across the line now. Here's Hyler in the Bristol heading towards the Cregny Bar dining room, pub, hotel place. So not long left now for these drivers. Almost a little bit too far for the pole. Brief appearance from a yellow in Sector 1, so unfortunate for whoever's brought that out. Hopefully they're still continuing. And your preliminary top 5 is Jackson, Jake, Scooby, Isidoro, and Mark Ziedler. So that's almost confirmation of what we should get for the actual results, but they'll all be made official later on through the GP Laps Discord and YouTube channel, and I'll probably put them up as well just to give you an idea of what's happening. And I've actually got GP Laps in the interview waiting. Oh, that's a big crash for Hyler. Very unfortunate thing to happen right at the end, as he uses his Robot Wars self-righting mechanism to get the car going again. As we can now actually speak to GP Laps, as we had Hyler roll in the car. Jake, how you doing?
I'm exhausted. This was by far the most tiring thing I've done in sim racing ever, but I finished. So
yeah, this was all your idea.
It was. I decided to put myself through this for some reason, but it seems like I have very little idea about what's gone on so far, but it seems like things have gone all right. There's a lot of folks still driving, but everyone was able to start, I hope.
Yeah, we had... I think we were down to like the final 50% of the grid come the end, so about 16, 17 retirements, almost 18 as we almost saw on the stream. But Hyler has just crossed the line. But the question to ask is, how long did it take you to get a lap in before not stacking it, as it were?
I've been racing around this track. So this track came out for Grand Prix Legends 2017, 2018 maybe. And that's when I first started driving it. And I mean, this is the first real competition I've ever done around here. But around that time, 2018 or so, was the first time I ever did a full lap without crashing. But these cars are a different world entirely around a track like this. And so, yeah, it took many a practice lap to get one of these cars around here successfully. And I look back even a couple of weeks ago at the times that I was doing, and it's crazy how much we've improved. Everybody, the times are unreal with how fast folks are going around here.
Yeah, I think Jackson's pole time was nearly 5 seconds faster than you, and then you had a Ascari in the middle of the 5-litre class in a car that should have been slower. So to see everybody getting the times in and seeing where they were and how a lot of the classes overlapped, which is what we were kind of expecting, really, given that this is more of a driver's circuit than a car circuit. We've still got a few drivers coming through to the end of the lap. So how do you think this is going to translate for Targa Florio, which is probably going to be even more crazy than this?
Could be more crazy. In a way, the track at the Targa Florio is actually a bit easier to drive. I'll knock on wood saying that. Yeah, it's a bit easier just because it's more slow speed. You really need to know where you're going around this track to be able to pull off a decent time. Where you definitely do at the Targa Florio, but I was talking to folks that around this track you probably need to know 50 of the 219 corners to reasonably do laps. There's 50 corners that look different than what they actually are. Around the Targa Florio, I bet it's similar. 50 corners, maybe less. So that's why I say that one's easier. Longer track, but less laps. They're all it's going to be about the same length of a race, anyways. So yeah, it'll be fun. I'll feel a lot better about it though, because we actually know we can pull off something like this. So
yeah, I think this is probably the first time that anybody's ever tried this. So for it to go well, and for as many people to finish that have finished, it's looking good for Targa Florio. And with Dundrod next up, how are you feeling about that?
I think that'll be good. Dundrad's going to be kind of wild. It's a head-to-head race again, but it's on a very similar track to this. The circuit looks almost identical. It's just a lot shorter. So I don't know if we've seen any issues with folks passing folks, but I know I ran up to a few cars during this, and getting around is a bit of a project for both the passing car and the passee. So there's going to be a lot more of that. We saw.
Yeah, it was fun from what we saw. So everybody was well behaved, and any crashes were driver error or computers not wanting to keep up. So the driving standard still, in terms of like actually car on car, has been very, very good this season, and hopefully it carries on for the rest of it.
Yeah, I hope so as well. I think it will. But yeah, that one's going to just be tricky because of the head-to-head racing. But excited for it, and excited to get some of the other folks back in here too. But we'll see how this one all plays out.
But the whole season's been incredible to watch. So thank you for putting it on, and hopefully we see you doing very well for the remaining races.
Thank you all. Excited to see what the results are.
Thank you. So that was GP Laps, the man who made it all happen, and we've got a couple of other people waiting in interview to come in. I think we've actually got Jackson Robillard to bring in as well. So we'll see when he's ready, and we'll bring him in and other drivers crossing the line. Jackson, how you doing?
Hey guys, I'm feeling pretty good. Really tired.
I can imagine you were putting in some absolutely blistering laps. Towards that final lap that you did, we saw you kick the car out in oversteer, like in the really fast section of the track. Was that a moment where you thought maybe I should slow down, or did you just think, no, I'm going for fastest lap here?
I was panicking the whole way, all 6 laps. No, not really. I was just having some fun. I don't know. It's the cars are loose as it is, but it's fun to just kick the rear end out.
How long did it take you to get the track learned?
I started practicing this, I think, before any of the other tracks on the calendar, because it's the only one. Well, I guess I don't know Dundred very well either, but it's the only one I hadn't driven before at all, and it definitely took me a while. I've been practicing it pretty consistently for the last few months, and only really in the last week did I feel very confident about it. And even during the race, it was a bit of a challenge to keep the car on the track and out of the berms.
How do you learn a track like this? Do you just memorize the layout, or do you go, I know that this corner's got a pink pub on the exit, I know this place has got a car dealership on the inside, or something like that, or is it just you do it again and again and again and again until it's committed to memory?
You mostly just do a lot of laps until, at least that's what I do, a lot of laps until I know roughly where I'm going. I still have sticky notes all over the bottom of my monitor, just as with reminders of where I'm going. But for the most part, it's just running more and more laps.
And how does it feel to, I mean, we've got the times coming through, we've got the provisional stuff, so how does it feel to provisionally have a win on the board in a series like this?
Didn't know I had. Feels pretty good. This series has been super competitive all the way. Qualifying this week has been crazy, completely crazy between Jake and I, just leapfrogging each other off the board. And I wasn't super confident coming in to this week, but I feel pretty good now.
And how do you think you're going to do at Dundrod with the return to actual proper racing?
I guess we'll see. Dundred's really narrow, and it's going to be interesting not doing the time trial there, because it's so narrow. Side-by-side racing is going to be really hard to do, so it'll be interesting, I suppose.
Yeah, the whole league's been interesting, and the way that it's all been driven and the way it's been put together and all that stuff. It's got a lot of interest going. So best of luck for the rest of the season, and see you on track at Dundrod.
Thank you guys for a good show. See you in 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
All right. Yep. So that was your overall race winner provisionally, as we get the times coming through. But with lap times like that, he probably has won. And I think we have one final person coming through for an interview. It is the third place finisher in the 5 litre class, and overall, hopefully, assuming that everything's been calculated properly, it is Scooby. How's that for you?
Hi. Sorry, still just getting rid of the jitters after all that.
You're going to need a beer after this, aren't you?
Maybe, we'll see. I'm not sure I want to do any more driving for the rest of the day after this.
I don't think you want to do any more driving for the rest of the month, will you? The amount of corners and practice laps you must have tried to memorise and put in.
Oh yeah, I've been going all week.
How long did it take, roughly, do you think, to learn it?
I am scared to
do you
answer
think that you
that.
haven't?
Probably about a day's worth at least.
Just guessing.
If we're counting the total hours, yeah.
Yeah. So it looks like you're provisionally third for this event. How does that feel to get some solid points on the board?
Honestly surprising, considering this is the first one I've even managed to finish. I felt like I was going really slow there, actually, so I'm surprised no one else has beaten me yet.
You were third on track. You were third, well, potentially third in the standings. So it's, I think any race you finish is a good one, isn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely, especially in this series. Cars are so difficult to drive.
Yeah, I was going to ask how did your car in particular feel going around here? Because you had do you have the Ferrari, and was that just?
Yeah, I had the Ferrari. It's probably one of the easier ones to drive, considering it has a ton of horsepower, which will get you around the track at any decent pace. Just have to brake about half a year before you go to the corner, because the thing is incredibly heavy.
I can imagine. And how did it feel when the fuel started to wear out? Because Jake's always been saying that the Jag tends to understeer as the fuel wears off because there's no more weight on the front end. But how was it in the Ferrari as things went on?
Honestly, not bad. The rear does start to slip a bit more, but you don't really notice it that much. Only over the bumps it starts to get really light sometimes, which gave me some scares on the last lap. Not quite as much, though, as the game freezing when you go over that really big jump. I'm pretty sure I invented some new swear words when that happened.
Yeah, I can imagine if you put all that time in and for it to go wrong that way, it must have been horrible. So I'll let you go and have a lie down and 10 or 12 shots of vodka to try and get rid of the jitters. And thank you for taking part. Congratulations on your finish, and hopefully see you at Dundrod.
Okay, thank you for having me.
No worries. Cool. As we're just watching Vladimir Kotliaski coming across the line within the next minute or so, we have Mark Zeidler, who took a class win. So, Mark, how was that for you in the slower class cars? We've had the 5 litre guys talking. How was it in a lower class car?
It was a lot of fun, I'll tell you what. The cars are very challenging, and the track is just immensely challenging. I think I got a little lucky. I did have a rollover out there, and that's not ideal, but it was near the end of the lap, but I didn't lose too much time from it.
We saw a couple of cars do that. We saw one do it within the last mile or so, and we saw one do about 15 backflips and then still carry on and then retire a little bit later. So it seemed that these cars can take an absolute hammering if you do hit them into a wall or something.
Yeah, they do pretty well. I haven't been able to drive with a wheel blowing off or nothing. But yeah, if the toe's out a little bit, you can still get around. You're not going anywhere fast, but you can make it around.
Now, I've asked everybody this question so far. How long did it take you to get a clean lap in for this?
Clean first lap, probably around 10 to 15 hours.
Oof. That's
But
a long time.
It was going to be a fast, clean first lap, though. I guess I could have rolled around, but I was always pushing, trying to get speed.
And how are you feeling for Dundrod when that comes up? Are you confident for that one, or is it going to be a little bit more difficult? Because they're saying it's very narrow, that track, and still fast, and it's a return to proper racing, as it were. So how are you feeling going from a completely different event back to what you're used to?
I've never driven Dundrod, so it'll be a learning experience again. I look forward to it. Narrow track, fun, just hard to pass if it's going to be a grid start. So we'll see how it goes.
All right. We'll let you go off and chill and enjoy the rest of your day, because you're probably about 5 or 6 hours behind us. So it's probably about lunchtime for you. So we'll let you go and have some food and some drink and let you chill out for the rest of the day.
You nailed it. Thanks, Aiden.
All right. Cheers. Bye. Ooh. Still got a few drivers crossing the line. Doc Slappy entering the final section of the lap for his final lap. And that will be pretty much us done for the afternoon. There's one more driver after Doc, apparently, so we'll stick around for that driver. The Irish driver just entering the little section that we saw. A couple of drivers just sort of slide a little bit helplessly into the wall while we're doing those interviews. Seems to be okay at the minute. And he is now powering his way up towards the line. So we just have one more driver, and then we can probably give you a quick rundown of what we think the results are going to be. So Doc Slappy crossing the line here, and then we have Treogat, the final driver. Where is he on the lap? So he's pretty much near the end. He's approaching that tight little section that ends the lap here. Every single driver that has finished has done incredibly well today. Just getting onto the grid would have been enough. He's the only driver on the circuit right now. Liam and Ian and the rest of the GP Laps team behind the scenes frantically trying to make sure they've got all the times correct. Need more screens because I'm running out of places to put my data here. As I've been saying all afternoon, this is probably the first ever TT style race anybody has ever tried in sim racing, so it's new for everybody. We need to get everything together. As we have another interviewee to bring in, it
Hello.
is Isidoro. How are you doing?
Exhausted. I can't even imagine how I finished this. I thought I was gonna bend it in the first lap, but I don't know. I managed through the whole 6 laps, and I don't know how I even come at the end of the result, but pretty happy for me. It was an amazing experience.
I suppose just making the grid would have been enough, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it was tough. A lot of track learning was like something like rediscovering the Nordschleife when you first start to learn the course. Was something like that. So it was very interesting for me. I also got very interested in the TT Isle of Man because of the road of the circuit, the mountain course, and I don't know. I got very into it, and I learned the track, and it was pretty hard to get a lap in, but I did my best and everything worked out.
Well, I've just had it come through in the production chat channel that we've got for the Discord, and you are actually the 2-litre winner for today.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so congratulations for that.
That's amazing.
Did you think that would actually be the case when you crossed the line or even started?
I was kind of hoping for a good result. I just did a one stop. I don't know if any other car did that. So I committed for the one stop, and I was heavily lift and coasting for the whole stint, the first and second stint. So I was hoping that the strategy was going to come from my side, and I think it did. So amazing.
Well, congratulations on winning the 2-litre class for today. How do you think you're going to go for Dundrod if you've actually done any laps at all?
I didn't touch the track. I don't know the layout, the circuit, so it's going to be a challenging one for sure. I heard it's very narrow, so let's see how that works out when we race actually there, because overtaking is going to be hard. But I don't know. I'm pretty excited. I want to start practicing as soon as possible. I'm a bit busy with work and everything, but I will pull my time.
Well, I hope you do very well at Dundrod. Congratulations for today, and we'll let you go off and have some food and chill out for the rest of the afternoon.
Thank you for the
No
amazing
worries.
work.
All right.
Thank you.
Adios. So, I have actually had the results come through. I've got the 16 finishers. So, on your screen, you've got Jackson Robillard, Jake, and Scooby as your top 3, which was to be expected because they were the 3 fastest drivers. But then in 4th, it's Isidoro, who we just had on, who is the winner of the 2-litre class, Mark Ziedler, who's the winner of the 3-litre class, and then Eduardo Beninca in 6th, Darren Andrews in 7th, Ariel Diaz in 8th, you got Hyla in 9th, Ujasu in 10th, Silverwolf in 11th, you got Mantas Izangatis, sorry if I've butchered that, he was in 12th, the last of the 5-litre runners. Toby Johnson in 13th, Doc Slappy in 14th, Vladimir Kotolowski in 15th and Treogat in 16th. They were the only finishers. So, I've now got to sign off now because in 2 hours I've got to start another stream for the Potato Nation Formula 4 League that I'm doing on a Saturday night. But for now, it has been the Historic Road Racing Championship Isle of Man Time Trial. I've been Aidan Millward. Thank you very much for watching, everybody that's hung around for the entire thing. And we'll see you next time for Dundrod. Goodbye.